So I recently made a video about my life as a private jet flight attendant, and the response was crazy. So many of you flooded my inbox with love and support and just overall curiosity about what it is that I do, what life is like on the road. Some of you even wanted to know how to break into the industry. So today we're gonna discuss that. Let's go. The last video that I posted, I was not prepared for the response that you guys gave. One of the biggest questions that I got, how did you get this job? How did you become a corporate flight attendant? And the one thing about me, I can't speak for the other girlies, but I am not a gatekeeper. So I am ready to share this information because I'm just a firm believer in the fact that there's enough food on the table for everybody. If you're great at your job and you bring value into a competitive industry, you have nothing to worry about. So there's no reason to not share this bevy of information that I have because I've been in this industry for 7 years. I love my job and I feel like it is a lot more accessible than I thought it was because I was under a lot of misconceptions about what this world looked like. And if my wisdom and information can make someone else's journey into private aviation easier, I'm all for it. So I've got about 30 minutes before I have to head to the airport. I'm gonna take this time to answer a few of the most pressing questions that I feel like you guys have been DMing me and putting in the comments. Okay, so the number one question that I saw was, in order to be a private jet flight attendant, do you have to have commercial airline flight attendant experience? No. You're gonna need corporate flight attendant training. It's like a week long. You have to go to one of these facilities, take the training, get a certificate, and then you can start applying. I didn't realize this, but having airline experience didn't matter because like even if you transition over from the airlines, you still have to take the training. The good news is on the private jet side, the training is only a week long. Unlike the airlines where I believe it's like, don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 3 weeks or more. The downside is it does cost a pretty penny. Listen, in most cases, you're gonna spend anywhere from $3,000 to $4,500 for 5 days of training. I know that is insane, and most people don't have that lying around. Hold on, guys, don't freak out. I'm gonna list some companies right here that will pay for the training. So, as you can see, it's not like the airlines where they spend weeks training and memorizing all of these things and like they have to study a whole book. Like we don't have to do all that. Like we do service, safety, evacuation, and style training. But it is required across the industry, I'm not gonna lie to you. And because the training is so expensive on the corporate side, I feel like it is my personal responsibility and I would not sleep at night if I didn't give you guys the honest truth. Listen, there are a lot of companies that offer this style of training, like corporate cabin attendant training. But from my own experience and from what me and my colleagues all agree on, there are 2 companies that you need to do this training on. If you're gonna invest that kind of money, go to one of these 2. When I initially wanted to break into this industry, I didn't have $4,500 laying around. So like, I don't wanna mislead y'all into thinking that you can just get your training anywhere and increase the chances of getting hired because the industry is competitive. So I wanna put you guys in the best place. It took me a while to break into the industry and I'll get into that in the next video as to why that happened. But I just want you guys to understand that it is a competitive industry. It is a really cool job and you just have to have a willingness to keep trying and to be persistent and resilient because it took me a year to break into this industry, but I watched all the other women around me get in within the first month of interviewing. So I'm not saying that to deter you, I'm just saying this is a competitive industry and I had to learn a few things before I was given my first opportunity to fly. So I just want you guys to know that, hey, just because you spend that money on that training doesn't mean you're gonna get hired like this. That's not the way it works. For some it does, but it didn't for me. Another question that I got that I feel like I wanna answer right now because I wanna put a lot of you guys at ease is, do you have to know how to cook in order to be a private jet flight attendant? The answer is no. Yes, I do have an extensive culinary background, and yes, I worked as a private chef. However, if you can take food out of a box, put it on a plate, make it look pretty, heat it up, wipe off the moisture, and put it on the table with a smile and ask, do you require anything else at the moment, sir or ma'am? That's it. If you can offer that service with a smile, then you can do this job, trust me. I cook on my flights because I have the freedom and flexibility to, but also, as you guys know, I love to cook. It just, to me, makes the time go by so much faster in flight when I have something to do. Again, that's just me. A lot of the times, I mean 99% of the time, you are not required to cook on an airplane. Unless you are hired specifically by an owner of a private jet who has contracted you or hired you full time because they expect you to have culinary experience, do not allow cooking to be a source of intimidation because it's totally optional. Okay, I will answer one more. You guys asked, do you get tipped? Yes, but here's the thing. I do not go into my job every day expecting to get tipped because most of the time I do not. It's not a guarantee that I get tipped. When I get tipped, it is a blessing and I'm tremendously thankful for it, but I do not do my job with the highest level of excellence and love because I'm expecting gratuity. But yes, let's be real. One of the perks of the corporate side is, you know, these people are really rich. We are flying the world's 1%. These aren't people of limited means. They're really wealthy and fortunate, and a lot of times they're also generous. And if you do your job well, you might be rewarded with a very generous tip. I mean, whether it's $50 to $100 or someone hands you an envelope with $5 grand cash, that was a really nice trip. But yeah, I do not have an expectation to be tipped after each trip. And most times, honestly, I'm not. It doesn't take away from the fact that I do my job with tremendous pride and enthusiasm. But more than anything, you should just want to do your job at a high level. You're excited about what you're doing, and your focus is on delivering the highest level of service with sincerity and love each flight, and your passengers leaving feeling better than they arrived, then that's all that matters. And outside of the tips, I mean, you're essentially getting paid to go on vacation every week. Go to places that you probably would have never gone without this job. So trust me, that little tip is just the tip of the iceberg. But anyways, I gotta take Kendall and Kylie on a walk and then drop them off the dog sitters. But please put all of your questions, concerns, curiosities, put them in the comments. And again, thank you guys for so much love. Like, to know you guys are excited and curious about the job that I love so much and the industry that I hold so dear means a lot. So I can't wait to show more of that, but I gotta go. Bye.